Hey guys, it's Mary and welcome back to Study Journey. Welcome back to the Python series. This is episode 10 of the Hangman series, and in the previous episode we talked about game rules. So in this episode we're going to be talking about game termination, so what to do when the game ends, and also how to calculate the total score at the end. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Previous episode, we finished talking about the game rules, and now we will be going on to game termination. I'm going to open my folder of CS Practice and my folder of Hangman files where I have everything downloaded. I'm going to open up the Hangman files and I'm going to scroll down to game termination. So this is what we're going to be doing in this episode. And we're also going to be calculating the total score at the end. So in game termination, it says the game should end when the user constructs the full word or runs out of guesses. So if the player runs out of guesses before completing the word, then you have to tell them that they lost and reveal the word to the letter when the game ends. If the user wins, you're going to print like congratulations and then tell the user their score. And then here it tells you how to calculate the score. So I'm going to open my file first. So in CS Practice, my file that I have written everything on in the previous episodes is called Hangman Episodes. And I'm going to compare these side by side so I know what to do. So now following on with our code, I'm going to scroll down to the main function of Hangman, which is right here. And we're going to go down to the end. So if the word is guessed, right now we're just printing out word guessed, and then if not, then we print it out you lost. We're going to change it to make it look the same as the game termination over here. So it says that if the user runs out of guesses before completing the game, then you have to tell them they lost and then reveal the word. So instead of saying you lost, because the user ran out of words and this is why they lost, I'm going to say, sorry, you ran out of guesses. And then show them the final word. So you ran out of guesses. The word was in the space, and then after the quotations, I'm going to do a comma, and then I'm going to print out the secret word. And then add a period to the end. So now after, if the user did not win the game, then we're going to print out, sorry, you ran out of the guesses, and then it's going to tell you the secret word. However, if we won the game, instead of just printing out word guessed, we're going to have to print out, congratulations, you won, your total score for this game is, and then the total score. So I'm going to change word guessed to, congratulations, you won. And then in the next line, I print out your total score for this game is, and then a colon. So your total score for this game is, and then I'm going to close the quotes, comma, and then the total score. So we have not written out the function for the total score yet, so we can define it above and implement it right here. So before the Hangman function, I'm going to define total score. And then let's see what the parameters are going to be. Because when we're calculating the total score, it says that the total score is the number of guesses remaining once the user has guessed the secret word times the number of unique letters in secret word. So for example, right here, since our word is apple, if they guessed A-P-L-E as the first four letters and they did not guess any wrong letter, then because the total score of the game is guesses remaining, so because they didn't use any guesses, they're going to have 6 guesses remaining. So it will be 6 and then times the number of unique letters in secret word. Because apple has 4 unique letters, A, P, L, and E, we're going to do 6 times 4. And then the total score for apple should be 24. So right here, because what we are using to determine the total score is the number of remaining guesses and also the secret word. Because the total score is going to be the guesses remaining, and then you multiply it by the number of unique letters in secret word, it's going to be the length of the set of secret word. Because in a set, there are no repeating letters, so it's going to be remaining guesses. In Python, the multiplication symbol is the star sign. And then we're going to multiply it by the length of the set of secret word. And then after this, we have to return the total score to update it. So we can now implement this function because we have defined it above. So I'm going to copy this over. Now down here where we said your total score for the game is, and then we're just going to copy over the total score. So right here, it will calculate the total score and then print it out. Now let's Command S to save it and then open our terminal to run it. If we look in my Finder, we can see that in the folder CS Practice is my file of Hangman episodes. So to open the folder, we had to say CD and then the name of the folder, so CS Practice. And then to open up the file, we say Python3 and then Hangman episodes. .py. And let's guess a letter. So in the beginning, like I said, if we guessed APLE without using any of the guesses, we should have the score of 24. Let's see if this works. So we type A, we didn't use a guess because it is in it, P, L, and E. And it says, congratulations, you won. Your total score for this game is 24. And like we said before, we calculated by ourselves. We know that it is 24. So let's try this again and see what would happen if we did not guess the word. So I'm just going to be guessing the letter R multiple times and just letting it run out of guesses. Okay, so after we ran out of guesses, it says, sorry, you ran out of guesses. The word was apple. Notice how there is an extra space right here? So I'm going to delete the space between these words, Command S, and then rerun it to make sure it doesn't look faulty. All right, now it says the word was apple, and it has a space before the period. So to get rid of this, instead of using a comma, we're going to use the addition sign and then save it. And then when we run it again, as we can see, when it gets to the end, you said you ran out of guesses, and the word was apple without the weird space after the word apple and before the period. That is correct, and now we have updated the game termination to when it ends, it either says you won and it gives you the score, or it says you lost and it gives you the word that you were supposed to guess. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video. We have finished the first part of the Hangman problem, so we have the general idea of what to do with Hangman. And in the next episode, we're going to be starting Hangman with hints, so expanding on to what we have in the beginning. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.